Morning, everyone. It's Shelly. Thanks for tuning in. It is Monday, the 30th of November. Yep. And we leave for our vacation in 2 days. So I think in 48 hours from now, we'll be getting close to landing in Denver. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about looking at your thoughts from a soul's perspective. And so the reason that I'm talking about that is because I occasionally tune in to Michael Fox on Facebook. He's a I don't know what you'd call him, an inspirational influencer, motivational speaker, law of attraction, life coach, whatever. His name is Michael Fox. He has his wife, his fiance, Yvette, with him. And he was talking about, they were reading the new book by Rhonda Byrne, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but she's the one that wrote The Secret books, and she has a new book out. And then they were also referring to a few books by Michael, oh geez, I have to look really quick here. I was just watching his videos. I gotta look at my history here and see. I need to stop saying that. I'm getting better and better with names. That's what I'm doing. Michael Singer. I was gonna say Springer, and I knew that wasn't right. Michael Singer. He's wrote a book. He's wrote a few books, and his perspective on the whole law of attraction thing and the whole soul thing is that your mind can be a really dangerous place, and it is for so many of us, because we get excited about something and then we're like, oh, wait a minute, how's that going to happen? And there's no way I can make that much money, or there's no way I can talk to those people, or there's no way that's going to happen for me, or I don't deserve that, or my mom told me I can't ever have anything like that. And those things just come rushing back, and those are all in your mind. And on a soul level, you are all about love and abundance and happiness and joy. So when you start thinking those thoughts, and it happens to all of us all throughout the day, is to take a step back on a soul level, picture yourself kind of stepping outside of yourself and going, why are you thinking that? Of course you're lovable. Of course you deserve abundance. And just to see, why am I even doing that to myself? I'm here to experience joy. So it's just an interesting way to rethink and look at your negativity from a new perspective. Because if you believe what I believe, our souls come from pure positive light energy and love and abundance, and we are just, have chose to come and have this physical experience for the fun of it, because we're all going to end up back there. We're all headed towards death. There's no way to get around that. We're all going to pass away at some point. I know for me, I would rather have this experience and make it the best possible than to have this experience and just be worrying and fretting all the time. Does that mean that I don't? Does that mean that I'm just in pure bliss and nothing ever bothers Shelly? No, we're leaving. I'm a super duper planner. I've been packed for 4 days. I've packed and repacked. I'm not a huge fan of flying, so I take Xanax for that. But all those things are me preparing for that and feeling better about it when it happens. So I'm not really oh my God, it's whenever I start getting a little nervous about the plane, I just go, I have my Xanax and everything's going to be better than expected. I have my husband there to, he's always all in charge of all the where we need to be and what we need, what gate we have to be. He takes care of all of that. So, you know, I'm actually just doing really well with this, and I'm excited for our trip, you know. So whenever I start fretting about that, I'm just like, no, you have your medicine and that's okay. I don't need to like leap over this huge, you know, obstruction in my life of being okay with flying. I've tried to fly once without Xanax, and it wasn't a good experience. And it wasn't so much that I was scared, it was that I had like an anxiety. I don't even think it was anxiety. I think it was just vertigo. Because one of my favorite parts of flying is looking out the window when we're taking off and when we're landing. And when I tried to do that on a 50-minute flight, we were having a little layover in Seattle. So from Portland to Seattle, I was like, I'm going to see if I can do this without my Xanax. And as soon as we got on the plane and they said, we're not going to have any service on the plane because it's going to be a rough ride, I was like, oh no, that was a mistake. But actually, the turbulence isn't what bothered me. It was that taking off. And then when we landed, so when we take off, I love looking out because I'm like, I can see my whole town because we fly right over Vancouver, which is just across the river from Portland, and the Portland airport is right on the river. So when we take off, I can see Vancouver if I'm on the right side of the, let me see, depends, if I'm on the correct side of the plane. I shouldn't say right side, depends on which way we take off. And so then when we flew into Seattle, I've been to Seattle many times, but it's cool to see like the Space Needle and the city from up above. But because I hadn't taken that Xanax, I was having like vertigo and getting dizzy, and I had to like put my head between my legs, and I was just like, this isn't a good experience. I would much rather take this medicine every once in a while when I fly and feel better and be able to enjoy that. When we left Disneyland and we took off from the airport there in LA and we went over the ocean, it was so cool. Like you could see all the people on the beach, and you could see the boats, and you could see the surfers and all the places along Malibu, all the beautiful homes. And it was just like, that's what I love. I love seeing all that, but I can't handle it if I'm not medicated. So instead of feeling like, oh, I've got to get through this in my head, I can go, this is a physical experience. And part of this physical experience is having this medicine that makes me feel better when I fly. So why not? You know, so many people are like, well, you know, as a, you know, law of attraction, you can do anything. So I want to be able to fly. And it's like, then get in an airplane and fly, learn how to be a pilot. And they're like, no, I want to learn how to fly with my own hands. Okay, well then go skydiving or find out if there's some sort of jetpack you can wear. Like, as we are in this physical experience, we are limited, but we have all these opportunities to do these different things. So when you are starting to fret, and he like even gave like, you know, my little thing that I need to work on is road rage. And I'm not a road rager. I'm just like, I talk a lot to other drivers when, what is that? When I am driving and it's like, why are you taking so long to turn? You didn't use your turn signal. Oh, go right ahead, pull right out in front of me, you know, all those things. And his thing was, when you are road raging and when you're in those experiences, you are just looking for excuses to lash out at other people because there's a bunch of crap going on inside of you. So be able to take that step back. So say you're in traffic and you are where there's a merge and you're upset because the person that's trying to merge in is one of those people that just came flying up past everybody and got to that merge and has to be let in by somebody. And you're like, I'm not letting him in, you know, that jerk, he's just trying to take cuts. And, you know, I've said it before, you honestly don't know what their situation is. It could be that. It could be that they've just gotten good at getting in the front of the line. Or it could be that it was a mom and her kid dropped their sippy cup and they were trying to get it and they missed the merge sign. Or it could be just somebody that's not from there. Or it could be the road construction that caused it or whatever. Does it feel better to be like, no, I'm not letting you in, you jerk? Or does it feel better to be like, go ahead and get in? And so that's when you take that step back and you go, why am I so angry at that person? Like, I don't know that person. I don't know their experience. And why? And they don't really care about my experience. They might be cussing at me because I'm not letting them in. But what if I let them in and then I felt better and I was like, oh, I just helped somebody regardless of what their intention was. And they're like, cool, somebody let me in. That feels way better. So that, you know, taking that step back. And the one thing that the guy that I watch, Michael Fox, said was, you know, like when we're taking a shower in the morning and you're going through your day, like, okay, I got to get ready and then I got to hit the road and do this and I got to get this done. And I, you know, I'm doing that hardcore right now because we're leaving on a trip. And so I'm doing all this planning. And it's like when you start to freak out about something, like I was actually thinking about, like, I don't know where Test Track is at Epcot. How am I going to find that? And then it's just like, why am I doing that? Like, we have the maps on our phones and all that. Like, why? And then I was like, why am I doing that? Because that's the stuff that, like, when I come out of myself and I'm like, why am I fretting about that stuff? It's because I want to be in control. I want to already know all those things. And it's okay for me to not know those things right now and to discover them when we get there, because that's the whole part of the experience is new discoveries and finding new ways. And, you know, like we went there in 2007. That was almost 14 years ago. Like, it's okay for me not to know where everything is and to get there and figure it out. And my husband is like, he does all that stuff. So I really don't need to get that worried about it. So then I can just go, oh, it's going to happen better than expected. And it's going to be a great experience. And I can't wait to get there. And right now I just need to concentrate on getting ready for the day and going and doing my morning video. That's what I'm doing right now. That's all I need to. I don't even need to fret about it. That's all I need to look forward to right now and do. So it's just an interesting way to look at things when you start that negative energy that's rolling in your head, to just kind of take a step outside of yourself and go, where's that coming from? And is that really who I am? Did I really come from pure positive love? And I'm excited about the situations that are going to happen today? Or am I just going to live in this, you know, this mind that's reeling in the past and reeling about what might happen? Like, it feels so much better to take a step back. And again, with my little mantra that I use for everything, because it leaves things wide open, is everything is going to be better than expected. Everything's going to end up better than expected. Everything is going better than expected. When you say that about anything, about a relationship, about money, about a vacation, about your job, about your spirituality, about, you know, what you have to go do today, where you have to travel today, everything's going to happen better than expected. You leave it wide open for all the opportunities that are better than you can possibly expect to happen to you. And when you start saying that enough and you start believing it and you're like, it's going to happen better than expected. And then you're like, well, how could that be? Like, what? Like, I only see it happening this way. And then you think back and you're like, oh yeah, like that one time when I needed new tires for my car and I just put it out there, it's going to happen better than expected. And then that afternoon I got a check in the mail for my past rental deposit that I'd been, you know, I had literally forgotten about because it was months before, or it was months after we moved. That literally happened to me. It was like in the morning around 11, I was fretting about my tires on my van, and I stopped fretting and I said, stop it, Shelly. It's going to happen better than expected. We're going to get new tires. It's going to be great. We're going to afford it. And I came home, and like an hour or two later, I checked the mail and there was a check in the mail for what I needed for those tires. It was from my previous landlord for the remainder of the deposit after she had the carpets cleaned and all that good stuff. So that is better than expected. And it was nothing that I could have expected because it wasn't even in my head. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, things happen better than expected. Night before last, I woke up, used the restroom, bathroom, whatever, trying to be all correct there, used the bathroom, got back in bed. As I'm starting to fall asleep, I hear beeping outside, like the dings when somebody opens a car door. I'm like, what the heck? So no contacts in. I look out my blinds. There are people in the street, and a couple of them, one of them's walking towards our driveway, and another two of them are walking towards the driveway across the street. I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. So I out loud, I say, are you kidding? These people are looking through our effing cars. Because I'm pissed, you know? And I come into my office where I know I can open the window easily because the blinds in our bedroom are kind of messed up. So I don't want to open the blinds. So I come in here and I like swish the window open, and the guy hears it and he looks up. And before he can say anything, I go, can I help you? And he goes, there were some people looking through cars earlier, and we were just checking to see. And then when he said that, I'm just like, yeah, right, dude, like, you're the one looking through the cars. And I said, what are you doing in my driveway looking at my car? And he goes, ma'am, I'm one of your neighbors. And then I noticed his accent because he's Indian and he lives down the street, like East Indian. And he's like, ma'am, I was seeing if your car door was open. You need to check your car because your car door is open. And our cars were broken into too. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, how'd they get into, it was my Camaro. How'd they get into my Camaro? Well, because they must have had a button, because they must have some little secret code changer. I don't know what, but they got into 3 or 4 locked cars on our street, and all they did was my glove box was open, and then I had a bunch of gas receipts from the gas station in my console, and all of those were on my seat, and then the glove box was open. I went through everything was still there, all my paperwork. I didn't have anything in there but a phone charger, and they didn't take that. And our neighbors, she said her car was locked too. There was no like scratches. No, they didn't go. It wasn't like a Slim Jim thing. They opened the doors because my car has an alarm. It would start honking if someone just like tried to open the door without the button. And same with my neighbor, and same with the other neighbors down the street. So somebody had called the cops, and the sheriff came and talked to us. And so we had been talking about putting a camera on our house before we left for vacation so we can just monitor from wherever we're at. And guess what? That situation, even though it was kind of scary and weird, it was actually better than expected because nothing was damaged, nothing was taken, and it prompted us to actually do this thing that we've been wanting to do, but we were really procrastinating on, and we both knew that it probably wasn't going to happen before we left for our trip. And now we went to the store yesterday. Scott installed it yesterday. We now have an app on our phone where we can watch our driveway 24/7, and we're alerted if anybody comes in our driveway. And we can actually talk to the people. Like, I can just go through the camera and say, can I help you? Get the hell off my property. I'm calling the cops. Like, that can happen now. That's pretty amazing. So that, to me, was a better than expected situation. My car was broken into, nothing was taken, there was no damage. It's all good. And it prompted us to do what we said we were going to do, and now we feel safer. I'm not doing it because I'm like so paranoid. I highly, highly doubt these people are going to come back into this neighborhood after they hit the whole neighborhood. Our whole neighborhood is now on high alert. So it's just put our mind at ease, and now we can even easier go on a vacation and not worry about what's going to happen while we're gone. And we have 3 neighbors watching out for our place. We have a friend coming over to feed the fish. It's all good. Like, it's great. So that's what I'm talking about, like, better than expected. Like, you could have taken that situation of our cars getting broken into and just be like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We can't leave now because somebody might get our car and ruin it, and somebody might get in the house, and oh my God, what are we going to do? And it's like, no, I look at it from a totally different angle. I step back and go, wow, that happened better than expected. My windows weren't broken. My There was nothing important taken, not that there was much, but they could have taken the registration or the insurance cards or the license plates. They didn't do any of that. Pretty sure it was just, they were just looking for valuables like laptops and phones and, you know, stuff that people leave in their car and they think it's safe because they've locked it up. Well, guess what? People can bypass your, you know, fob button and get into your car without your car even going off. My car did not go off, and then they left the door ajar a little bit so they didn't slam the door and wake anybody up. I don't know what time they did it. We were woke up by our neighbors in the way I just told you at 1 a.m. So, and I don't think they're going to be back. They're not going to come back to a neighborhood where they hit every car they could, and then they're going to come back like a week later and try it again. Like, they know that we're all watching now. So anyways, that's what I'm talking about. When you're fretting about stuff like that, take a step back and go, you know, my life is actually blessed. It's going great. Life is good. Count your blessings. Write out a gratitude journal. Like, do things to feel better. And don't let your mind get into that spinning cycle where it's just like, everything's bad. The news is bad. The roads are bad. The government's bad. All my friends and family are bad. Like, get out of that. That is not what we're here for. We're here to have fun, to experience these experiences, and to get better and better at seeing the blessings and the joy that happen all the time. Okay, I'm going to go 20 minutes. Jeez, rambling. You guys all have a great day, and I will talk to you maybe tomorrow, but I won't be doing these videos while we're on vacation, so it'll probably be a while. So anyways, have a great day, have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.